welcome Keith.
Dennis wants to go home anyway, right?
Thank you. Dang, I don't know where that came from.
All right. Okay. You had a busy day.
The droops? There we go. Thank you. You asked if I could provide a little update on the Transit Authority for you tonight, and I just wanted to know that a number of you are new to the council, and so for others, you're familiar with this before, but give you a little update here tonight. Yuba City Transit is a joint powers agency. It was formed in 1975 by the two counties and the cities of Marysville and Yuba City. The agency is governed by 8-member board of directors, 2 from each jurisdiction. From your council, council members Shaw and Cardoza are our representatives from Yuba City, and so they done an excellent job in that role. Thank you. Our services have always been operated and maintained by a private contractor. That contract is awarded on a periodic competitive procurement basis. We're currently at the end of a current contract, and we'll be changing contractors at the beginning of the next month. As a result of the private contractor relationship, we have just 5 employees that are responsible for the planning, the finance, administration of the agency, and then we also, with a separate agreement, we're also responsible for the Regional Waste Management Authority as well. Our maintenance and operations facility is located in Marysville, 2100 B Street. That facility was formerly a 7-Up bottling plant for those of the old timers in the community, and we remodeled it in 96, and then again in 2011 to its current configuration. Our budget for this year is about $8.3 million. We have a variety of funding sources, but about 34% comes from local sales tax revenues, 30% from federal, urban, and rural public transit funds, and 17% from state transit assistance funding, and another 4% from miscellaneous sources. Our $5.6 million capital budget is funded exclusively from federal and state sources. It includes the current budget includes a major fleet replacement project that will complete about an 18-month cycle of replacing 28 of our 51 buses. So we've been in a rather significant replacement cycle. In our future capital budget will be much smaller than that for the next few years. What began as a subsidized taxi program in 1975 for seniors and persons with disabilities now offers a wide range of services. We last year provided over 92,000 service hours, and that number has not changed much in recent years. We offer 6 local fixed routes that operate weekdays and Saturdays from 6:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night. We have the services operate every 30 or 60-minute frequencies on those 6 routes each day. Our local dial ride service offers curbside service to seniors and persons with disabilities, and that service operates on weekdays from 6:30 to 6:30. But after 6 o'clock to 9:30 at night, we offer that service for the general public as well. So it's an evening dial ride service for those who need that service. We have Sacramento Commuter and Midday Service offers 23 schedules a day to downtown Sacramento. We've offered that service since 1990. It's obviously grown over time, and we offer 3 rural routes as well that serves the Live Oak, Wheatland, and the Yuba County foothills. Our 15 buses range from 16 passengers to 57 passengers buses, and all of our buses are wheelchair lift equipped for 2 wheelchair positions, and they all have bike racks as well. We were the first transit system in the region to have 100% bike rack accessible service, and we have a lot of bike boardings in our system over time. Recent improvements that we've made in the last 10 years or so, we haven't had a lot of service growth because of the uncertain financial conditions and available capacity in our system. But we have done a number of things to help modernize the system and kind of recover from the growth that we've seen prior to that. Those include the conversion of our local fixed route system buses to all low-floor, modern design buses. Our commuter buses are now all high-floor, tour-style buses as well. We've added commuter park and ride lots in Olivehurst and in Plymouth Lake, and then we've also expanded the park and ride lot that's on Bogue Road, just south of Yuba City. Added video surveillance systems to all of our buses for improved security for everyone involved. Expanded and remodeled our current facility in Marysville to its ultimate capacity. We've also expanded our Air District funded program for discount monthly bus passes to include not only the youth, but also seniors and disabled passengers as well. And then we've also recently rolled out a electronic fare card system that called the Connect card that is now fully functional. That was part of a regional program that we were a partner to that was initiated by SACOG and is operated by Regional Transit in Sacramento. On the ridership side, through 2015, we had 12 straight years of historic ridership highs. In fact, through that time period, we had 24 of 25 years we had ridership growth. Since 2015, though, our ridership has dropped, and at our peak was about 1.3 million passenger trips. We're now a little over 900,000 passenger trips in our system through the last fiscal year. The similar ridership reductions and probably worse in many of our sister operations around the state and certainly around the country. Have a lot of reasons have been looked at for what's causing that. Local factors certainly contributed to some of our own policy choices and service choices we made related to service alignments and our fare structure and transfers and that sort of thing. Also, we've had kind of a chronic problem with on-time reliability. Anybody who drives through the region knows traffic's a lot worse today than it was 5 years ago. So our schedules that were set up in that time period are no longer terribly realistic at sometimes, especially since the campfire trucks have gone through Marysville for the last year plus. So we're looking forward to that being over as well. And then also we had some little population growth in the area, and some of our vehicles that we're now replacing were quite unreliable as well. And the good news is our Sacramento ridership has been trending upwards over the last 18 months, actually since about January of 18, and we're seeing some good numbers there. And then we have some other initiatives that we hope will help stabilize the system as well, including I've already mentioned the tour-style coaches on our commuter buses, as well as the free Wi-Fi service on our commuter and fixed route buses. And then we've also done some major improvements and expansion of our bus stop amenities, bus stop benches and shelters that are out there. And then we've also added a bus tracker app that is available for our public as well to know when the next bus will be coming. There's a couple of significant issues I want to touch on before I close. Is that one of them is that the California Air Resources Board recently, in December actually, 18, adopted the Innovative Clean Transit Regulation that will ultimately require that all the buses we purchase by 2029 will be zero-emission buses. That will have a dramatic impact on us, not only financially for the cost of those buses and also for the fueling infrastructure, but also our facility isn't capable of bringing that kind of power and other services into that property, nor do we have the space to deal with that. So we competed for and we were awarded a competitive grant from Caltrans for a project we're calling the Next Generation Transit Facilities Site Study that we hope to be releasing the RFP for that this week, actually, by the end of the week. And that will help us to identify potential sites within the region and evaluate those and ultimately select preferred sites, which will drive the process to secure funding, ultimately to design and build a new facility within the next 10 years to support the next generation of transit in our region. The other issue we were dealing with is just our system was, as we said before, was designed a number of years ago for a different operation and a different economy. And so we were looking to do a comprehensive operational analysis on our system, and we're hoping as well to seek Caltrans funding to support a comprehensive operational analysis for us in the next year or so. As you can tell from our operation over the years, and people reminded me here tonight how long I've been here, but we have changed a lot over the last 30 years. And while it's still a small system, we do provide a lot of different kinds of services for a lot of different people. And back in 1990, we had 132,000 boardings. So it's changed a lot over that time period, as our community has as well. So we still want to balance the local priorities with the local funding sources in the mix of the passenger demand and policy direction from our councils and boards as well. So with that, I would open up to any questions you might have. I think we've provided you with some materials from our current service materials as well as our most recent passenger newsletter.
I think you're good to go.
That's
Oh,
it. All right.
hold
Mayor,
on.
through the mayor.
Slipped
Thank you,
under.
Keith, for the presentation. I'm sorry. Well, I was waiting. Anyway, hey, by any chance, Keith, could you please enlighten the folks here in council about our future with our buses, about the zero emissions, and just let the folks know that what a bus costs now and what it's going to cost in the future, and it has to be done within the next 10 years.
Right.
Can you please?
The new policy does take effect in the next couple of years for larger systems. For us, our first mandate would be 2026. At 25% of any buses purchased at that time period would have to be zero emission. That means we have to start being able to manage them in our current site. So typically, that's either battery electric buses or hydrogen fuel cell buses. A battery electric bus costs in the neighborhood of $850,000 to $900,000. Our current buses that we're having delivered next month will be about $425,000, $450,000. So to give you an idea what a diesel bus is like compared to those kind of buses. A hydrogen fuel cell bus is like $1.2 million for the same size capacity. And that would make me choke as well. It has regularly. So those are, and then the infrastructure to support those, to bring the power to the property, to charge the vehicles. And that's some of the issues we're looking at, is sustainability. There's not enough power in Marysville right now to power a fleet of 51 buses if we were to charge them up at the same time. So we don't want to cause brownouts anywhere. So that's the kind of the issues we'll be looking at, is accessibility, infrastructure. These are huge issues, and for us, as a small system, it's a major issue.
Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.